Welcome everybody back to the latest episode of mine. I'm Lionel Zanna of the Toy Dungeon SA, this crazy little idea of mine. And every now and then I do a game video, and today's game video is Golden Axe 3. One of my favorite games. I see online it gets a lot of bad rap, but I love it. It's a part of my history, something that couldn't stop playing, me and my buddy, when we were young. I mean, this game came out in 1993. And that's a lot of years ago, but nonetheless, let's plug it in, check it out, and let's have a good time. Yeah, so finally we have the title screen. It's been quite a mission to get this game playing. I've got two different Sega systems, and so I use the European one. It's not like it doesn't work, it's just a little bit wonky. But on my Japanese Sega system it worked perfectly, the Mega Drive 2. So let's go in different options, the versus mode, which is just all the characters you could choose that challenge each other. I suggest everybody go to the options first before you start the game, because I don't like the setup of the buttons. So I suggest you set your control settings to controller 4, which is A, your attack, B, your jump, and C, your magic. Otherwise, when you start the game, you're going to be hitting your magic first move in the game. In entering the game, you get your character select screen, and in there you got the main swordsman that's been in all the games. You get another cool character, which is half man, half panther. You got the female warrior, you got the giant. Very cool cast. So let's play the game, because this game has got a serious amount of different moves that the other games don't have. So in starting the game, you get guided by one of the main characters in the previous Golden Axes, such as the dwarf that is in green. It always has an axe, but I see now when you start the game, he walks with walking stick and he can't fight anymore, but he gives you advice. Now that you have been released from the evil curse, your mission is to defeat the Prince of Darkness and return with the Golden Axe. Go now. Okay, so before I move on to the next topic, I would like to cover the special moves of this game, which is totally unique, totally different compared to the other Golden Axes that came out, especially that classic that came out in 1989, Golden Axe 1. When I was young, I saw it in every single arcade, like King of Fighters. It was so huge and so popular. But when this came out for the 16-bit, I was playing it with my buddy Lionel, who lived right across the road from me, till about 1995, when I left Joburg and came to Polokwane. But anyway, the moves are as follows. You've got your first button, which is your attack. Your second button is your jump, your third button is your magic. But if you push your attack, your A and your B, if you push them together, if you move your directional pad forward or down, you will do an extra special move.
I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know it.
Yes, how can I forget this part, where you run and jump on the wagon, being pulled by all these snail dragons and hitting all the enemies off the... Very cool two-player game. So there's only one thing that I have a grievance with in this game, is the dragons. The dragons don't look like the dragons from the first and the second game. They look totally different, but nonetheless, cool game. That's the only beef I have.
I had to do it all myself.
So now we finally get to the final boss on the third stage. You can see that some eagle character brings him in, some huge knight, sword and shield, with a few other minions that you have to defeat to get through to the next level. At the same time, if you look up, you can see there's sort of a graveyard in the distance. This is the cool thing about this game. After you defeat your enemy, you can choose different paths that take you to different destinations within the game and gets recorded, which is awesome. I really love that idea in this game. I haven't really seen it in much other games of this time, but anyway, it's a nice thing to just bring up. In a way, it reminds me of those old game books that I have, where you can choose where you want to go. Yes, so finally, after I've defeated this enemy, it gives me my selection. I can go up or forward. I'm not going to go into the graveyard now. I'll go forward and see where it takes me. Now, after you finish the stage, there's always a cutscene, which is a trademark to this game. In every single Golden Axe game, that there is gnomes. When you finish the stage, the gnomes will come up and steal your magic, and you have to beat them or hit them or try get them to get your magic back. So now, after you finish the stage and beating the gnomes and all those things, it shows you a map of where you're going, of the route that you're taking, which is kind of cool. And this route I've taken takes me to the Tender Hamlet, which is a little village within the game. Okay, so now going through the village, I finally get to another crossroads, and I'm gonna go down instead of going straight. I think it leads to the docks. Hit these gnomes, get some magic, get some health. And these guys, one of the most difficult and tedious guys to fight within the game. They got special moves of their own, and they're very difficult to beat. And throughout the game, they can be a huge pain. So I'm tired of playing with this character now. I think I'm going to change up to the female warrior, give her a try and see how it goes, and the differences between her and the male swordsman.
I'll be cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard.
Okay, so now I've defeated them, and I'm facing the giant, one of the guys that you can choose in the beginning. But he's your enemy because he's got a curse over him, so let me hit him with my power, which I can use against him. We'll just beat him because he's kind of tough. Love the moves, almost like of Double Dragon.
And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains, I'm the boss, I'm making change, I've been rocking this exchange,
Okay, now he's dead and the curse has been lifted off his head.
Name, I just wanna be famous, but I don't want that cheap fame, no I'm not that vain, I just wanna be greatness. 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 Ain't no mother.
Okay, so in using the female warrior, she looks cool and all with the red boots and the sash and the bikini top. The only thing that bugs me about her is the range of her weapon. It seems like it's too short, so you have to get very close to do some damage to your enemies. But nonetheless, her moves are cool. They've got seriously crazy ideas that they put in for the female warrior, or her special moves and her magic and her other moves just in general. But we are playing in one of the most tedious stages in the whole game, Cave of Crystal. Lots of skeletons, lots of bad guys, and lots of traps. And you can also say this is my least favorite character of the game. You must seriously be careful when fighting in this stage, especially when you see these crystal objects. If you break them, sometimes you'll get rewarded and you save a captive, or it could be an enemy hiding inside the crystal. So the first two crystals you find on the stage, they have captured people in them, and if you release them and you get enough of those, you get a free man. But if you try to break the crystals further on than the first two, you will just get skeletons, and then you'll have more enemies to defeat. Oh no, not these guys again. These are those goat-headed giants with 4 arms. These guys are exceptionally hard, especially now that I have the female warrior with such a short-range weapon. It's going to be seriously difficult to defeat them. But nonetheless, I think the time has come to change the character because I'm getting really bored. She's my least favorite character, but thoroughly enjoying the game with such freaky things that go on in this game. I'm seriously blown away. All these years that has been sitting collecting dust, now I'm playing it again. It is inspiring me and giving me great ideas.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing.
Okay, so I've taken the giant for now. I've left the best for last, the panther guy, who's my favorite, but thoroughly enjoy the giant. So as you see, the gnomes have stolen all my health and my magic. So let's just beat them and get it all back. And the next stage is
For change, I just love the feeling.
the bloody streets, which I think is a street that leads towards the docks. Playing with the giant is actually easier in the game because his strikes and his hits give, I think, about double power. So where the other guys have to hit the enemies twice as much, you only have to hit them a certain amount of times to kill them, which is excellent. And I think you can get further in the game with this guy. But he's got some crazy moves, powerful character. I just regret not using more special moves that he has when I played the game.
Sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night. I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine. Need time and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight.
So as I'm coming to the end of the bloody street stage, you start to end up at the docks, where finally I get to face one of the main characters, the female warrior who is cursed, and I have to defeat her to break the curse. She's very tricky to beat, but after a couple of tries with the giant, she seems to be much easier, hitting her only a few times. And at the same time, can't wait to finish this stage so that I can play with my favorite character in this game, the half man, half beast character. I love his moves. I love the way he looks so rugged and mean. And at the same time, his moves are so strange but cool nonetheless. So the next stage that we will be approaching is a voyage to the castle, where you're fighting on some type of ship before you get your destination. So what I've noticed, the further you get in the game, the longer the stages seem to get. And you have to try conserve all your continues and your health and your magic so that you can get to the end. But in 2-player mode, we used to finish the game, but when it's player 1, it's just too difficult, just too many enemies. So I guess finally I get to face that eagle, half-man warrior, and 2 of the most strongest minions. These knights are especially difficult because they just refuse to die. That's why I'm throwing as much magic as I can towards them, because I really want to finish this stage and see where it takes me. So wish me luck. So finally, I defeat the enemy and the curse is lifted, and guess what? It flies away. So I guess I'm going to have to fight him later on in the game. So let's proceed to our next stage, which is the Cursed City. So for this stage, I'm changing up the characters again just to give it some variety. Really getting into the game. Don't want to stop. But I know when I get to that part, I cannot get past it, man. So now I'm fighting in the Cursed City. I'm using the male warrior and lots more skeletons and giants. As before, we've seriously got some cool moves, but these stages from here on are longer, more difficult. The enemies are not so basic anymore. They got longer life and they even have magic that they can throw at you. So yes, very difficult, so many enemies, so much more things, and the stages are longer, the health gets less and the magic gets less.
So you couldn't believe, just tell me that I can, just tell me that I can, just tell me that I can, just
Now almost coming to the end of the stage of the Cursed City. I've got to fight these two 4-armed goat-headed giants. Last time they were green, this time they're red. Most probably much stronger and more tougher than the ones before. So the first things first, hit them with the magic, baby.
Say anything negative, cause I just wanna hear it out your mouth, yeah. Give me fuel, it's a tool that I use to go ahead and run my mouth, yeah. I take shots, I take loss, I make shots, I miss lots. I tell you get big box, you get yachts, you swing lots and pop off a big shot. I ain't done chasing, got big dreams, bigger things, impatient. Who's at the top think they need replacement? Who's at the top think I'm gonna erase them? Face it, I don't give up quick, I don't give up shit, I won't give up this. Cause I know that I want it, know that I'm on it, I'll make it, I promise. You don't wanna fuck with me. A slow.
So finally coming to the end of the stage, I get to fight my most favorite character of the game, and he's possessed, and you can see the color of him is totally different than the purple color that he normally has, but very sneaky, scaly flippin' moves, but enjoy it and love it so much, and he's tough like nails. So now after defeating this character, he says to you, fortunately, I regained consciousness. With your strength, we should be able to defeat the enemy. Woohoo! So I guess we're going on to the final stage.
I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working.
The Gate of Fate. So scary. So the Gate of Fate is a showdown with that eagle character that keeps on dropping enemies. You defeat him and then he ran away. Now he's back again. And what does it say to you? So you finally got here, however, you won't be able to go on. Is that it? Seriously, as you challenge this guy, he's got an arsenal of seriously strange moves.
Popping off and risking things, gonna make a fucking name. I just wanna be famous, but I don't want that cheap fame. No, I'm not that vain. I just wanna be greatness. 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 Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste me, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate me, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me. Okay, I'm going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit. That's why I'll make it to the top, yeah, I commit. And no, I'm never getting lost, I get after it. Investing in my own stock, cause it's faster than any crypto hits go, let me spend. Everything that you see is something I invent, and it's only a percent. I'm gonna take shots, if I miss all, forget it. I'll take a fat loss just to learn all that's in it. I'm taking snapshots, learning how to fall and get it. I'm getting back up, always stand tall, don't sweat.
And you see, I know I'm near the end, but I always get stuck at this part, or this certain part of the stage always defeats me because I run out of life and continues. It's just one of those sad things. I've tried it a couple of times, but I always die here. And to me, this game is better as a 2-player game. And the setting isn't even on hard, it's on normal. I just wish there was an easy setting so I could have accomplished and finished the game for the video. But it is what it is, I can't finish it. I've tried hundreds of times. And I can't stall on something because I have to make more videos for my channel, because this is what I do. Another cool thing about this, when you finish the game, it will give you a map of all the different places that you've gone.
You can try me if you wanna hate, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me.
first place was the vast field, the tender hamlet, the cave of crystal, the bloody street, the voyage to the castle, cursed city, and the gate of fate. And there we go. And then it leads off at the bottom, and you're dead. So there we go. Finally come to the end of this video. It was seriously a difficult video. I thought it would be much easier than a PlayStation 2 game, but obviously not. My first challenges in the game was the consoles. I used first my European Sega Mega Drive 2, but the game plays on the system, but it doesn't work properly. The controls don't want to work. But on my Japanese version, it works fine. I had to even go through a lot of different Sega controls because only some controls work. I don't know if it's a region thing, because I know there was region restrictions long ago on different games, and that's why we had mega key converters such as these guys, and I used both of them on both of the machines until I found the right combination that I could play the game. Then on top of that, it was recording, and my camera didn't want to work because the pixels didn't want to match with the TV, because it's one of those old tube TVs, so I had to use one of my old phones, but nonetheless pulled it off. It was grueling, it was intense, it was lovely, it wasn't easy, it was hard. Finally, I've completed this goal. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did. It's been a couple of weeks, just solid Golden X3, and I hope you liked it too. And if you did, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for the view. Till next time, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, leave me a message, and I'll get back to you. Thanks for everything. Cheers.